All right, let's talk about Erica Banks, right? Interesting young lady. Interesting young lady. I think she had a little bit of romantic intertwining with hookah finesse early, like when he first had got out. I don't know. I think she said he had something crazy. It doesn't even matter. So she was arrested yesterday, um, here in the Atlanta metropolitan area, driving a stolen car and allegedly trafficking controlled substances. Um, Very disturbing, especially for somebody who we see portrayed as some type of rap star, if you will, or a young lady who especially integrates a lot of uh, cash talking stuff in her lyrics. I want to take y'all back a little bit with this young lady, just from my own personal dealings or interactions, or the things I know of at least secondhand, first and second hand from her. Man, it's been a lot of Cap and a lot of her rap and Cap is, I mean, Cap go hand in hand with rap, but there's got to be limitations. We got to come to certain limits. So look, when she initially came out, she had the Bust It challenge, right? The record with the Nelly sample that was kind of big. And when I initially heard the record, number one, I didn't even have any familiarity with it. And I went to a nightclub that I frequented here in the Atlanta area, known as Vibes. This was the old Vibes on Piedmont, for those familiar, before they moved to the new location that's in that West Midtown area. So, I go up in there. This, again, a spot I frequent, you know, uh, and I called a young lady that, the waitress that I deal with in there. And she's like, "Oh yeah, Erica Banks." I think it was like Martin Luther King Day, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm sure, and this was during the time, like, pandemic time. Atlanta, we was outside, and I think that was like the streak. I probably was in vibes like every Monday for 6 months straight, probably damn near. So, what happened? Boom, we go up in there, or she's like, "Yeah, Erica Banks." I'm like, "Who the fuck is Erica Banks?" She's like, "She got that busted channel." I don't even know nothing about it at that point. We go up in there, we hear it. Man, she get to throwing money in there that night. And the DJ's like, "Oh my God, Erica Banks just threw $20,000. It's cameras and shit." I was right there. There was all of probably $400 in ones on the ground. Right. So my initial introduction to the young lady was a lot of monetary rap cap, for sure. Right. They said over the loudspeaker 20,000. It wasn't $1,000 on the floor. I know what that looks like. Right. It was probably $400 on the floor. She threw that. So I'm like, all right, like, but it's rap. It's a stunt. It's a club appearance. It's a promo. I'm not mad at it, but I'm just giving y'all my experience. So fast forward, it's a young lady I was dealing with who was a waitress here in Atlanta on Edgewood. In Erica Banks, she was with somebody else. He do something. I don't even remember who the nigga was, but she was out at the spot on Edgewood, and the young lady told me, "Hey, yeah, Erica Banks just came in here, order only off the happy hour menu, didn't tip, or like tip me $1 or some shit like that." Number one, that's crazy, right? That's just nuts. To tip somebody $1, just in general, is crazy. So I won't tip the DoorDash, the Uber Eats, $1. The lowest I'll ever go. Like, if they right here, I might go $4 or $5, right? But if they're coming from any distance, man, I'm gonna try to tip them good. I understand these people are working for their money. They're working. Their tips is how they get their money, especially in the. If you have any familiarity with how the lounges in the restaurant works, these people are living off of the percentage, the 18% grant they're getting on the bill, and then whatever additional tips they get. They're not actually getting hourlies. If they are getting hourlies, the hourlies typically be like $2 an hour, shit like that. So you gotta come on, like, this is a hardworking young black lady, the same as you. $1, that's ridiculous. That definitely rubbed me the wrong way about her. On top of that, I didn't wasn't really a fan of her aesthetically, the way she looked. But after that second BBL, I warmed up to her. If that second BBL, I had some faith in her. She had another record. Okay, boom. But again, all of my initial interactions and knowings about her is, some cap and studding, pump faking, broke ass type of behavior for sure. So now for this to come out that she potentially, and again, these are all allegations, because just because somebody has a lot of bags of weed does not necessarily mean they intended to traffic those narcotics, right? And I don't know what the search and seizure actually produced. I didn't conduct it. I haven't seen the itemized evidence breakdown. And quite frankly, we don't know if that search can get suppressed in court if it was done illegally, if there was plan. We don't know, but let's just, again, entertain hypothetically that there was multiple bags of marijuana and or other controlled substances found in the stolen vehicle that Erica Banks was driving. Well, it was potential that she didn't know the vehicle was stolen. She could have procured it from somebody else, and there could have been a necessity for her to operate it for whatever reason. She could have not had her car or whatever. Right? I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt there. Just because there was multiple bags of weed, again, does not necessarily indicate drug trafficking, because you could have bought some weed for your own person. Like, boom, if I pull up to you as somebody who used to serve, and if I busted my sack down into the smallest bag, what used to be known as a dime, who knows what the going rate is today? The price of weed is just, I'm so far removed. Back in the day, that little bag, that was what you call a dime bag, right? So sometimes if I wanted to bust a pack down, I would bust it into all dimes. Then if you bust it into all dimes, if somebody come and buy a 7, well, boom, you just get the bag. Okay, boom. You see what I'm saying? You just, how many grams did this motherfucker just buy? Then that's how many bags I gotta get. You see what I'm saying? So that's possible. We don't know. Again, she could have been driving somebody else's car and had no idea what the contents of that vehicle. We don't know. But let's now entertain the idea that she was in fact, moving a little weight to compensate for this lifestyle that she's living that her rap career is just not upholding. This kind of bring me back to the whole shit like with Adrian Broner. Sometimes maintaining appearances and living an exacerbated lifestyle, a financially exacerbating lifestyle, is extremely detrimental. Extremely detrimental. And we have to get out of the ideology of keeping up with the Joneses. We have to get into the mindset of living beneath our means, living below our means. And this is something I learned from my Japanese landlord. I had a Japanese landlord. When was that? 2000. It had to be 11, 12, around that area. I had a Japanese landlord. I was living in the Mira Mesa area of San Diego. That's a very richly Asian community in San Diego. And when you live amongst them Asians, man, you see a group of people who really are accustomed to living below their means. These are people who oftentimes have trust, have had good careers, good savings. The ones that, a lot of the Asians that actually end up in America are the ones who come from money. And that's true with a lot of countries. A lot of countries, the foreign people who come to America, the ones who were able to come, only made it because they were already financially well off in their country, and that actually enabled them to make the move to immigrate. But yeah, they coming from this money, they own these businesses, things like this, but they always live below their means, right? And that keeps, right, their generational wealth. And we're always, as black people, using the buzzword generational wealth, but most of us simply don't even understand the concept of generational wealth. And all we are actually talking about, we want is discretionary money, a discretionary budget, meaning a budget for money to do what the fuck we feel like doing with it, i.e., go to Thailand or some shit like that. That's typically what we mean when we're saying, generational wealth. We don't actually mean it, because if we meant it, we would be looking to groups like the Asians and replicating what they do in order to keep our money afloat, to stretch it out generationally, We will be getting insurance policies and things of that nature. We'll be making key investments. We wouldn't just be trying to get rich quick. Oh, day trading. Oh, and not that there's anything wrong with day trading, but it has been used wrong and marketed wrong to a lot of people. Oh, a parlay. Oh, a quick flip of some drug money. Oh, scam. All this little shit. That none of that is conducive to the production of generational wealth. None of it is. And then people end up like Erica Banks in a situation where they have to maintain appearances and they may have to begin to do things and compromise and go back to a very low street level of business in order to maintain. And that shit ain't cool. That shit ain't right. Nobody should do it, man. Coming up from selling, that's something we supposed to put in our rear view when we elevate socioeconomically. When we get olive branches extended to us that give us the ability to legitimately earn money and change our standard of living and quality of life. We're not supposed to revert back to, delving into the criminal underworld in order to earn a living. We not. And from what I'm hearing, it's not even really a revert back, because from what I understand, Erica Banks don't even come from that. She could not. I hear she comes up out of DeSoto, Texas, there in the Dallas Metroplex area, which is, an affluent black area there in DeSoto. But, I don't know all the details of the situation or her background, but all I know is, man, just take this. I just urge everybody to take this as a cautionary tale, right? That when you start getting it, to be wise with it, and to understand that run could come to an end. Diversification of your proverbial portfolio, your funds, your capital, using it, spreading your, like the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes, if you spread your bread on the water, it shall come back to you in many days. Meaning, make investments, make wise investments. Put your money in different places and allow that money to make money for you. And don't just count on one thing that is very fickle, that is not a sure thing. And then you end up in a situation where you feel like you got to go back to the trap. That's never the place that you want to be, man. So that's all I want to just hit y'all with today in this Erica Banks situation. Make sure we like it. Make sure we sharing. Make sure we subbing, man. I just do my best to give, the God-given game that I've been giving it and disperse it out to y'all, man. Praise the Lord. I'm gone.